down 3 starters back-to-back, grueling season. But as I said, we're not going to use it as an excuse. I think there could have been some fatigue there in the third, but we carry on, we fight on. We had our opportunities there. I thought our guys continued to play hard. I think there were just some mental mistakes there in the third quarter. We turned it over. Carmelo hits a couple tough threes that really turned the game, but I thought our guys continued to battle. They continue to fight. It's been a long year so far, Sam. It's been a long, grueling year for my group, and we're down. We got some wounded warriors, but we got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting, and we'll do that.
Thank you.
Richard?
Coach Borrego, Richard Walker, CarolinaSportsHub.com. Obviously, you got a little bit of a boost out of both of the Martins today. I mean, you talked after the game the other night that you wanted to give, spread out the minutes a little more. You're still down to 9 players. How did that minute distribution go? And how do you feel moving forward into Wednesday's last game of the first half of the season?
Yeah, we played who was available. We went 9 deep tonight. I played Caleb a little bit more than Jalen tonight just for matchup purposes, but we distributed the minutes around. I was okay with the minutes. Terry's played high minutes. Melo even had 32 again tonight. But that's all we have. This is our roster. These are the active bodies, and we'll continue to fight with who's available. And that's all we can do. But I thought I was okay with the minute distribution tonight. And we'll see what Wednesday brings us. I have no idea, who will be available then, but we got one more before the break.
Rick Bonnell?
Hey, JB, when Cody Zeller saw the second half schedule, he mentioned to us that he was kind of taken aback. You're going to have only 2 times when you have 2 days off between games between then and the end. How are you as a coach going to manage that? And what I'm saying is, how do you figure out how to correct things when you really can't use off days the way you would under normal circumstances?
Yeah, Rick, we're kind of already in that mode right now. I mean, I really started on this trip once we were undermanned, and there is no practice time. It's walkthroughs, it's mental exercises, it's film, it's walkthroughs in the hotel. A lot of this final stretch is going to be about the mental game. I got to keep them off their feet. There is no practice time. Even those 2 days off, I'm not going to spend those 2 days practicing. I guarantee you that. I'm going to use that time to rest their bodies and get them ready for the next couple games ahead of us. So for us to finish strong here in this last stretch, the number one thing is staying healthy, keeping the virus away, and then getting our rest, physical rest and mental rest. If we can do that, we're gonna have a chance to finish strong this season.
How do you think that will, if at all, affect how you use your rotation?
Well, I don't know yet. I got to see who's available, but yeah, I think night to night we're gonna have to go deep into the rotation. I can't play 8 guys or 8.5 guys a night. I'm gonna have to do it with 9 consistently, and some nights 10, on back-to-backs. So I'll just have to get creative every night, Rick. I'm gonna really just have to read it from night to night. It may not be the same rotation every night, but the number one thing is to keep these guys fresh and healthy. Obviously, we have a 19-year-old rookie who's never been through this before. I got to be aware of that, and we got a very young team that's going to be, put through the grinder right here. But we'll be okay. It's my job to manage them. We have enough bodies to get us through one day at a time, and we'll just, we'll manage it accordingly.
Thank you.
We'll go to Danny and then Will.
Coach Danny Thompson with 3-point conversion. Speak of your 19-year-old rookie point guard. LaMelo had 30 points, 8 assists, but most importantly, 4 steals. We talk so much about what he does offensively. Talk about what LaMelo did for you guys defensively, Simon.
Well, this is what Melo does defensively. He makes plays. He gets in passing lanes. He gets his hands on balls. He anticipates at a high level. So, he does what he knows how to do on the defensive end. Obviously, we're continuing to work with him on all his schemes, but I thought he was very active tonight with his anticipation and his hands, and that resulted in 4 steals. But he's impacting both sides of the ball for sure.
Will, go ahead.
JB, you kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but when it comes to managing just the minutes of the guys and obviously when they're on the floor, what do you think is the best way, or how do you instruct the guys to manage their fatigue when they're on the floor, when fatigue is kind of an inevitability?
How do they manage it on the court?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if they're tired, I don't want them playing fatigued. If that's what you're asking, they got to communicate with me. That's the biggest thing, is that for us to get through the season, there's got to be some real honest communication on how they're feeling, their bodies are feeling. That's going to be a big part of this. I don't always know exactly how they're feeling within a game, but I don't want them pacing themselves through a game. And if I have to run them shorter minutes, I'll run them shorter minutes. But when we play, we have to play hard and aggressively. And, obviously we have some guys that are down right now, but when we get fully healthy, we need everybody to bust it for the minutes that they earn. And it could be shorter runs, but if they're not up to speed and they're not feeling right, I got to have a feel and a gut feel as I manage them, but they also have to communicate with me.
And also, if any comment you have, what comments do you have, if of any, about the dismissal of Lloyd Pierce in Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed. He's a heck of a coach. He's done so much for that community. He's a friend of mine. I believe in him as a coach, and it was just a disappointing day today for our profession. But he's strong. He'll bounce back. He'll be a part of that Atlanta community for many, many years, and he's done a tremendous job in that city and in that community. So he should be very proud of that. I'm proud of him too.
Last question will go to Rod Boone.
Hey, JB, you mentioned the mental part of it for the guys. I mean, how do you make sure that you're keeping them fresh mentally over this stretch here to just make sure that you don't wear them down, I guess, mentally, of course, because obviously that's just as important as the physical part out there. To make sure guys are doing what you want them to do.
It's a fine balance, Rod, because I want to teach, I want to coach, I want these guys to grow and develop, but my coaching staff has done a great job with me, making sure I'm not overloading them. I'm not doing too much, because too much can be a bad thing as well. And my former boss told me, less is more sometimes. We just got to keep it simple. And I think that's where we have to go the second half of the season, is simplify what we're doing and just do it harder and more aggressively. And I'm not going to try to add more to the mix here. We're just going to do what we do, be who we are, get healthy, and everybody pull in the same direction, playing extremely hard. If we do that, I think we could have a very successful second half. But my coaches are all over me right now. You can't do too much, and we can't have hour-long film sessions. It's just too much for the guys right now. There's a mental grind, a physical grind, and not only for us. I think everybody's going through it in this pandemic. This is mental health right now that we got to get through. So it's a big part, Rod.